Are we indeed suffering? This question delves into the core of human experience, challenging us to confront our emotions and perceptions. It acknowledges the complexity of our inner worlds, urging us to explore the depths of our feelings rather than brushing them aside. By igniting introspection, this question invites us to recognize and validate our struggles, fostering a greater sense of self-awareness and empathy. What fuels our suffering? The inquiry into the roots of our anguish prompts a profound examination of both external circumstances and internal conflicts. By recognizing the interplay between these factors, we gain insight into the nature of suffering and its myriad manifestations. This understanding empowers us to address not only the symptoms, but also the underlying causes, paving the way for true liberation and healing. The spectrum of suffering encompasses a wide range of experiences, from physical pain to existential angst. Each form of suffering demands acknowledgement and compassion, regardless of its perceived magnitude. By embracing the full breadth of human suffering, we cultivate empathy and solidarity, fostering a sense of interconnectedness and shared humanity. How do we measure the degree of suffering? While suffering may defy quantification, its intensity can vary based on individual perception and lived experiences. By acknowledging the subjective nature of suffering, we cultivate empathy and understanding towards others, recognizing that each person's pain is valid and worthy of compassion. Do we sometimes perceive suffering where there's none? Our minds have a propensity for magnifying grievances, blurring the line between genuine distress and perceived discomfort. This recognition prompts us to approach our experiences with mindfulness and discernment, distinguishing between legitimate suffering and fleeting discomfort. By cultivating awareness, we can navigate the complexities of our emotions with greater clarity and equanimity. Can suffering be eradicated altogether? This existential question challenges us to confront the inherent complexities of the human condition. While suffering may be an inevitable aspect of life, our response to it holds the potential for transformation and growth. By embracing the lessons embedded within our suffering, we can cultivate resilience and wisdom, ultimately transcending the limitations of our perceived limitations. Depression often accompanies prolonged suffering, casting a shadow over our thoughts and emotions. Yet within the depths of despair lies the potential for profound healing and transformation. By embracing vulnerability and seeking support, we can navigate the darkness with courage and resilience, ultimately emerging stronger and more resilient than before. In the teachings of Buddha, suffering, dukkha, is portrayed as an inherent aspect of existence, stemming from craving and attachment. By recognizing the impermanent nature of our desires and cultivating mindfulness, we can alleviate the root causes of suffering and attain liberation from its grip. According to Buddha, the cessation of suffering lies in the relinquishment of desires and the cultivation of mindfulness. By letting go of attachment and embracing the present moment, we can liberate ourselves from the cycle of craving and aversion, finding peace and contentment in the here and now. By embracing impermanence and detaching from the illusion of self, we can alleviate the burden of suffering. This profound insight invites us to transcend our egoic attachments and embrace the interconnectedness of all beings, finding solace in the realization of our shared humanity. Can we truly transcend suffering without denying our humanity? This paradox challenges us to reconcile our aspirations for liberation with the realities of our human experience. By embracing our vulnerability and imperfections, we can cultivate a deeper sense of compassion and acceptance, ultimately finding liberation in the midst of our humanity. Perhaps our journey towards liberation begins with a simple yet profound inquiry. What if suffering is not our enemy, but our greatest teacher? This transformative perspective invites us to embrace our suffering as a catalyst for growth and self-discovery, ultimately leading us towards greater wisdom and compassion. Through introspection and compassion, we can unravel the intricacies of our suffering, paving the way for profound healing and growth. By cultivating self-awareness and empathy, we can navigate the complexities of our inner worlds with grace and resilience, ultimately finding liberation in the midst of our suffering. Ultimately, the quest to understand suffering leads us on a poignant pilgrimage of self-discovery, illuminating the path towards inner peace and liberation. By embracing the transformative power of our experiences, we can embark on a journey of profound self-discovery and spiritual awakening, ultimately finding liberation in the midst of our suffering. Support the dedicated creator by subscribing the channel, liking, commenting, and sharing their labor of love. Your valued suggestions inspire us to create videos bridging Buddhist teachings with daily life struggles. Krishna Chandra Mohapatra created this video exploring suffering's role in self-discovery and liberation.